Right, so what is up guys, SDPeasy here, and today we're back with more Modern Warfare 2 Right, so what is up guys, SDPeasy here, and today we're back with more Modern Warfare Season 2 content. Today we are going to be talking about the perks. Now the perks are obviously a big part of Call of Duty, they always have been and always will be. They have actually recently changed quite drastically. In this update we had a massive change to perks, because literally everybody was using the same 3 perks, pretty much just as a standard, nobody was changing them. Now, there's been a lot of changes. So as we look in the blue slot here, we've now got kill chain, which kill streaks now count towards your next kill streak, only applies to kill streaks earned in that's live. So this is pretty OP, like this is the best one in there. This now obviously rivals Scavenger or the likes of Cold Blooded, who, if you were trying to stay off the map. Obviously EOD has had a downgrade. Double Time has had an upgrade as well, and I believe and obviously Kill Chain has had traded slots with Overkill. So Overkill and Kill Chain have swapped perks. So people are actually going to use Kill Chain now, which they wouldn't have done in the past, as it actually makes more sense to now. It's very useful, obviously, because for getting kill streaks in games, especially while Rust is out, and it's a much more fast-paced map. Kill Chain has actually improved the game, in my opinion, because it has improved how quickly the game plays, how quickly people move, how quickly people are able to get kill streaks, which is a big advantage in this game. If you're able to get kill streaks, especially on a lot of the maps that are open, you're going to dominate a game. You're going to dominate a lobby. So it's a very big improvement for me. EOD obviously moved hacking ability to spotter perk. So this one it's not actually that big of a downgrade really. Hasn't actually made that much of a difference. EOD will still be useful, obviously, for trying to take reduced damage. Double Time will obviously always still be useful, so half tactical sprint recharge time, which means to tactical sprint, actually you can do this more often now, which is actually really key. So you can get yourself out of situations maybe that you didn't want to be in, or you got stuck, and you've got quicker sprint now. So that's actually really useful. So in terms of the blue perks, now really the ones you're looking between are Kill Chain, probably Cold Blooded. I mean, they're all actually pretty good. It's sort of up to yourself. Now, Kill Chain is probably the one I'm going for, and I think a lot of people will go for Kill Chain based on the idea that you can now use it a lot more and a lot more effectively to push yourself forward in the game, get more kill streaks, and it makes your game more fun to play and more fast paced rather than the slow pace we might have been used to. If we move over to the red perks, as you can see, we now have Overkill in here rather than in the blue slot. So that's obviously what's swapped with Kill Chain, because there was literally nothing in here which even compared slightly to Ghost. Ghost was the best perk in here, and to be honest, probably still is. Move Snapshot Grenade, which literally didn't really do anything anyway, so it's not even that big of an issue. It's moved it to Battle Hardened, and a lot of people use that anyway, so it doesn't even make that much of a difference. It's still easily the best perk in the red slot. Point Man has had a huge buff. More score is earned by assist, more score by objective, and earned score by helping teammates destroy kill streaks. So Point Man has had a huge impact. So your kill streaks can become score streaks and so on. So it actually is quite useful, Point Man now. It's got a decent use. Ghost is obviously the OP when we know about. High Alert is not that great. Overkill has obviously been moved and swapped with Kill Chain. So now obviously everybody was using Overkill and Ghost. So they had just like an M4 and MP5, which I did with Ghost. So nobody could see you and you just snuck up behind people. So obviously it's moved now. So a lot less people are going to be having those 2 primary weapon classes because Ghost is so effective. You're going to be seeing more of one weapon, and it should provide easier, faster paced games. Hardline is the same as it always has been, and Restock has had a nice little buff there, a recharge time reduced by 5 seconds, so recharge equipment over 25 seconds now. So it's actually quite useful having Restock on now. So say if you actually stay alive a decent amount of time, you start building streaks up, you'll get your stims, your flash grenades, your Semtex, your claim, or whatever you use, you'll get that back a lot quicker. For me, Ghost is still the best one in here. It's definitely I'm going to be using, because I feel like it just is still the best perk in here. It's sort of unmatched even after they've moved Overkill, but it obviously has had a slight nerf, but it isn't going to make that much of a difference. Now if we move over to the yellow perk slot, this is very interesting. We've got Tune Up has had an increase charge time by 7%, so it now reduces the charge time of field upgrades by 40%. Rather than it being, I think, 33 before. So that's a lot quicker. That's a big difference. So your field upgrade is going to be there more and more often for you. That's obviously useful. Amped is the same as it always has been. Shrapnel is exactly the same. Obviously this is just spawning with extra lethals. Battle Hardened has had a huge upgrade, which is sick, which is why I'm now going to be using Battle Hardened, because it has added gas resistance and added the snapshot grenade immunity. So when somebody throws one of those grenades that couldn't be anything, you're immune to it now, and it also the gas resistance, so you can actually walk into the gas now while using Battle Hardened, rather than it just literally, you couldn't aim down sights, you couldn't do anything, you were pretty much out the game. If somebody threw that Nova gas at you, you were going to die. Now you're not with Battle Hardened. It makes it pretty useful. Certainly what I'm going to be using from now on. Added hackability to spotter and tracker is the same as it always has been. To be fair, there's a lot of good perks in here. You could really go for any of them depending on your playstyle and how you want them to affect the game. I'm going to go for Battle Hardened just because of how useful the new buffs are to it. Now, as you can see, this is my ideal perk slot. Now, we've got Kill Chain, Ghost and Battle Hardened. That will obviously change depending on what gun I'm using. This is obviously for an M4 class. So it sort of makes sense to do that. Obviously, if you were using a sniper, maybe you would change this up. Maybe you would use the likes of Cold-Blooded, maybe instead of Kill Chain. You'd definitely use Ghost. And you'd probably use... Tune-Up? Or would you? I mean, you might even use Amped. Amped so you could reload, you could swap to your pistol quicker. But yeah, they're the 3 perks that I'm going with nowadays. I think they seem a lot more effective. Hopefully that has been useful to you guys. If you didn't know the perks had changed, hopefully you do now, and it has been effective to you to know that, because it will improve your gameplay and your game style if you change them up depending on what suits you best. If you have enjoyed, drop a like on this video. We've had plenty of Season 2 content already, and we are going to have plenty more coming out soon. If you are enjoying that, please drop a comment down below saying that you are enjoying it and what things you'd like to see me produce from Season 2. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you are new around here and hit that notification bell. We do upload every single day at 6 PM. Thanks for being here, and peace.